Hey, what's up, guys? So if you're following me on Twitter, you know I love the Twitter machine, and I'm putting out a lot of stuff out there, hopefully some informational stuff. Hopefully I make you laugh every now and again. But I sent out a tweet last night asking if you guys had any questions for me. We did one of these a month ago, and we got a crazy amount of responses, so I'm going to answer some of your Twitter questions. And don't forget, you can always follow me on Twitter at Rubin Report. That's how you spell it. Right there. All right, here we go. Here's the first one. Geez John wants to know my favorite Star Wars character. Okay, everyone knows I love Star Wars. It would be cliche and easy to say Boba Fett. He's everybody's. He was a badass motherfucker, and he, you know, the carbonite and catching Han Solo and all that stuff. So I'm not going to say him, and I'm not going to say Han Solo, who also, at least in the originals, was by far the coolest character. I'm going to go edgy here. I'm going to take someone from the prequels. I'm going to say, this is nuts. I know this is nuts because he was really only in one movie. I'm going to say General Grievous. He led the droid army, and he wasn't fully fleshed out in the third movie, but he really was a great character. This guy who, if you know a little bit about the Star Wars lore, really originally was a sort of a good guy who became a bad guy and sort of got duped by Count Dooku, and he was sort of a coward, but he ended up killing a lot of Jedi. If you follow some of the Cartoon Network had that cartoon, not Clone Wars. They had a cartoon that took place between episodes 2 and 3. You find out why he has the cough. It has a little something to do with Mace Windu. And he was just an interesting character that they added, and he just looked really cool. And you could argue that that his body, you know, the sort of organic body with the robot on top, was sort of a first generation Darth Vader. So I really like General Grievous, and you know, and that Luke guy's not bad too. Okay, next. Do you have any hope? This is Eric Wallace, 117. Do you have any hope of the new Star Wars being as good as the original 3? I actually do have some hope. I liked the prequels, especially Revenge of the Sith, but obviously those were done by George Lucas. I have a feeling that giving this into new hands with a new, fresh set of ideas, also understanding that there's going to be an expanded universe and one-offs being shot off the originals, I think that they can do this right. And I have faith, and I guess that's because I believe in the Force. Okay, what's next? Crash Matrix. What were the circumstances surrounding how you got involved with TYT? Actually, this is a beautiful thing, and it's fun. It's funny that we're talking about Twitter right now, because I connected with Kelly Carlin. You guys may know Kelly. She's been on my show many times. She is an author, and she does comedy and spoken word stuff. She is the daughter of comedy legend. I mean, really, the god of comedy, George Carlin. And I connected with her on Twitter a couple of years ago, ended up having her on my old SiriusXM show. And then she connected me with Malcolm here at the Young Turks to do The Point, when it was the old Point way back when. And I came in, I was in LA doing some other stuff, and I came in and I did one episode of The Point, and I just loved everything that was going on here. And I said to Steve O, most of you guys know Steve O, he's the COO, and his name's O, of the Young Turks. And the show finished, and he came up to me and he was like, "Great job, Dave." And I was like, I'd love to do a show with you guys. But I really was just kidding. I really was like, oh, somebody said something nice. Hey, I'd love to do a show with you guys. And he was like, okay. And then, yeah, over the next like 3 months, I decided to wrap up my SiriusXM show, moved out to LA, and here we are. All right, what's next? Jared Williams. Are you a fan of Stephen Wright? For those of you that don't know Stephen Wright, he is a legendary, legendary comic. Really the king of the one-liners. You know, just one line, punchline. Really slow, incredible delivery. You can check him out on YouTube if you don't know who he is. You know, when you do comedy, you sort of try everything, or at least that's how I did it, and that's how you kind of find your voice. So you can do more animated stuff, slow stuff. I tried prop comedy once, all kinds of stuff. So I did do one set sort of in that Stephen Wright, Mitch Hedberg way of doing things. It's not really for me. He's a genius. You know, he's absolutely a genius and someone I admire very much. But my real influences would definitely be Cosby, would definitely be George Carlin, would be Ellen, would be Bill Maher, Andy Kaufman. Those would sort of be my big ones, but I do love Stephen Wright. What else do we got? How did you find your coming out experience? Was it really difficult or fairly easy? I've talked a lot about this, and actually we will put an annotation right up here and a link in the description down below. I did a thing with Anna Kasparian, one of my best friends and obviously co-host of the Young Turks, where we talked all about that. So you can click that right this very second, and that'll answer your question. What's next? Joshua Fisher, 89. What area of the country do you think has the best beer? I like this question because I just started drinking a new beer. It's called Eel River, and it's from Northern California. I think Humboldt County. Can anyone confirm that? I think it's around Humboldt County, Northern California, and it's an IPA, Eel River. Totally dig it. What's next? Maddie Ryan, 817. Will you answer Golden Girls questions? Yes, Maddie, I will. What's next? Edward, YYJ, favorite travel destination outside of the USA? I spent 2 stints in Amsterdam. I have almost no recollection of both of them, which means it was pretty good. What's next? Jimmy Shoes, 1V, how do you like your coffee? Pretty dark, and a little cream. I don't need the sugar. I'm off the sugar, although occasionally a little organic honey. Okay, what's next? Matty Ryan again, 817. Dave, what are your thoughts on the increased anxiety levels in millennials due to constant exposure to news, tweets, Instagram? You know, we talk about this on the show all the time. We are just living in this digital world where we're constantly staring at this thing. I don't even think it's about millennials. I think it's about people of all ages, because I'm not a millennial, and I've had to take time now. Last weekend, I basically took off the online world and shut down Twitter the best I could. I still ended up tweeting like 2 or 3 times. But I think it does. I think there's a lot of greatness about it because it connects us. You're able to find people that think like you. You're able to get news from people that maybe you couldn't have connected with first. But I do think this endless thing, you know, you post an Instagram picture and for the next hour, how many people liked it? How many people liked it? Like, I think we are reinforcing some bad stuff. So I hope we all learn how to deal with it the best we can, and that's everybody's different. Some people have more of an addictive personality. You got to figure out how it fits into your life. It's something that I'm constantly working on myself. What's next? Chameleon Lost, 88. Why do people say, I gotta take a shit? Why wouldn't it be more accurate to say, I gotta give a shit? I think that's a good point, and I will take that into account. What's next? Dirkus Maximus 1. Have you ever found Waldo? I actually was quite good at the Waldo books. What's next? Oh, he asked another one. Dirkus Maximus 1. Favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoon? Without question, the Jetsons. You guys know how much I'm into the sci-fi stuff around here. And it was just sort of a perfect blend of sci-fi, cool stuff, a lot of stuff that was sort of happening right now, and then comedy, of course. So yes, the Jetsons. Oh, and one more for you. At Melissa Immel, in the last one of these that we did, she asked what I would be doing if I wasn't in comedy, news, this whole thing. And then I completely answered a different question. I read her question, and I just went on a complete tangent. So what would I be doing? I have no freaking idea. I have no idea. I might be in an office and be a really frustrated tweeter. That might be it. I might just have an office job. I wish I could be in the NBA, but that's probably not going to happen. What could I possibly be doing? You know what I'd probably be doing? I'd probably, if I had gone like more of a sort of traditional route, I think maybe I would be working in politics at some level, maybe doing like PR for a politician or, you know, like a press secretary kind of thing. But then you're just spinning a lot of bullshit. So I actually think I'm in the right place. Anyway, I thank you guys for watching this, and I thank you for playing along on Twitter and on YouTube. And it's at Rubin Report and youtube.com/Rubin Report. But you're watching this right now, so why did I even bother saying that? Thank you, and good night.